Well, you're probably waiting for the show to start. Well, I can understand that. And trust me, you were in the right place. But before we start the show, we got to let you know that today's show is brought to you by a very special and new sponsor to the show. None other than Southern New Hampshire University. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you know I'm excited about it. Number one, because they're doing a great thing in terms of helping people overcome some of the experience barriers that are holding people back, right? And we know that that comes up a lot as we progress through this professional world and just adulthood, right? So with SNHU, the beautiful part about them is this. They are designed for people like you and me, man. The ones that are busy, but can make some time to be on the online space and, multitask, so to speak. And that is what SNHU brings to the table. The largest, or one of the largest, accredited nonprofit online degree offerings. Man, it is a dope thing that they got going on over there. One of the programs that stood out to me the most is their sports management program, in terms of being able to, number one, work at your own pace. They have multiple times throughout the year where you're able to get into the course and ultimately progress through at your own speed, 24/7 access. I mean, those are beautiful things, especially when we're just talking about the working person, the busy person, the person with the family out there. SNHU. Oh, they trying to hook you up. They trying to help you out, baby. Now, like I said, for myself, man, I've utilized the online program very similar to this, and I can tell you firsthand the benefits that come from these type of programs and what SNHU is offering, man. You don't want to miss out on it. So check out the link, all right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. All right, you check that out. Obviously, this is all in the description as well. But I want you to check that out, man. Look at that sports management program and just see some of the average salaries associated with degrees in this field, man. Could definitely be something that might motivate you, make you want to go out there and do something special out there and, ultimately put yourself on an even better trajectory. But with that being the case, you see right here, SNHU, Southern New Hampshire University. I stand by them, and as always, keep being great. But now I think it's time to get back to the show. So, you already know, don't touch that dial, baby.
Tyler Quattro says CT ESPN should hire Emmanuel Acho.
Oh, no. Oh,
What a
no.
clown.
Oh, no. What did I miss? What did I miss? I know Acho, he comes in the fire. And Emmanuel is the older one. Sam is the younger one, just for clarification. Sam linebacker, thicker face. Emmanuel, thinner, usually has the glasses on, high top fade. Yeah.
So this was definitely the worst take I've heard this year.
Uh-oh. What did I miss?
Potentially the worst take I've ever heard, period. It should go in the Hall of Fame for worst takes or terrible takes I've heard. Definitely. Mount Rushmore, at least.
I missed this.
But definitely the worst this year. It's terrible. It's egregious. So he basically said he doesn't think Russ is going to revive his career in Pittsburgh. His reasoning is that he's
a hater. Is that what
there's that. But then his reasoning just it's awful. It's completely garbage. He used a list of quarterbacks that have taken snaps or have started since Tomlin got there.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said everyone outside of Ben, once they got to Pittsburgh, their career went to die. So he's listing off like Duck Hodges and Bruce Gradkowski and Mike Vick and Byron Leftwich. He's listing off all these guys. He's like, yeah, these guys went to Pittsburgh and their career went to die. So like, boy. I don't see Russ turning it around either. Like his career is gonna die here too.
All right.
The worst example to ever use.
Yo,
you're talking about a bunch of backups who were brought here to be backups. And I would actually say were successful as backups. Like they actually had successful careers and tenures here.
Bro, Vic won some games as a backup, bro. Stop playing, man.
He talked about Batch. He brought up Batch, Dobbs,
man.
Landry Jones.
Batch is goated as a backup. Yeah. What are we talking about, man? Yeah. Oh, he's trying to force that. He was trying to force it.
Oh, it was terrible.
He was trying to force it.
So
Oh,
bad. Like
man.
it's an apples to oranges comparison.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I think if he would have brought up just Mitch, Kenny, and Mason,
you got a better.
That would have been more
chance.
fair because they were
Yeah.
actually designated to be starter, or they had
At
a
some
chance to be a
point, yeah.
starter. But I think that's even a terrible example too, because
outside
when
of
we got
and
Kenny,
Mitch, those are the only two that I even could think of. But Kenny was drafted here, so you can't even say that was brought here and his career died.
Well, yeah, and I just think it's completely different circumstances too with Kenny, Mitch, and I guess if you want to throw Mason because we drafted him and there was a potential for him
to leave and
to
then came
be the guy after Ben. Ultimately, we didn't really give him an opportunity to compete with Mitch and Kenny.
He
but
had the opportunity.
Right.
That was his opportunity.
Either way, I think those three guys, the circumstances are different than Russ coming here already accomplished and having Hall of Fame status and all that. You drafted Kenny, so he's unproven coming in. Mitch, his career died as a starter in Chicago.
Right. And
he
that's
was a
why
backup
he went
with
to
the
go
Bills. We give him a flyer contract to maybe reclaim being a starter in the league. And then Mason, 2019, he had a chance. I don't think anyone here was go about giving him the keys after Ben retired to begin with.
Right.
Whereas, like, you got Russ coming off of 29 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
And even if you want to say like, okay, the few quarterbacks that we've had since Ben didn't work out, I don't know how you could just take that and guarantee it's not going to work out with Russ, because actually some of the variables that were there for these quarterbacks, like a Matt Canada, aren't going to be here for Russell Wilson. Like, we got an Arthur Smith, a proven guy. I think we got an improved offense around him too.
Offensive line as well.
Yeah, better offensive line.
If we start to look into some of that stuff, it was a lot of other variables and other factors that did hurt some of that quarterback play. But yeah, if you're talking just the caliber of players that were deemed starters or that we were looking at as starters, none of them are the caliber of Russell Wilson, if we're being honest with ourselves. I think the only one that you could make the case for is Kenny, just because he's the first round draft pick. But Mitch, when we signed him, was not viewed in any conversation with the Russell Wilson. Mason Rudolph has never been viewed in any type of conversation about Russell Wilson outside of playing in a game in Seattle. That's about it, right? Charlie Batch. We've never talked about him as a Russ. I don't think Russ has ever even been compared to a Charlie Batch on his way up, because he came out and beat everybody out and was a starter day one.
It's the worst take I've ever heard. Or worst take I've heard this year.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
just like,
maybe ever heard. It's so bad.
Yeah, but to just assume that, it's not gonna work because that is the reason, and that's the specific thing. I'm like, it's other things you can point to if you wanted to be pessimistic about our potential success. And you've heard me talk about it, right? You got a new offensive coordinator, you have a new quarterback, you have a young wide receiver that you're going to be dependent on taking a massive step forward, and you're just young as a team in certain places. Yeah, there is a big chance that the offense could fall flat and it not work out because of that, right? Hey, we got a rookie potentially going to start at right tackle. We got a dude that isn't a rookie, but is a rookie at a left tackle position that could be starting out there. And we could have a rookie starting at center day one. Yeah, it's a chance that those rookies could fall flat on their face, man. Or they start hot, but they hit that rookie wall on week 10, and now they start going downhill. There is a chance that could legitimately happen. But he ain't say that. He ain't say any of those type of things. My man said, it's because these quarterbacks ain't had no success, man. They fell flat on their face. So you know what? Russ go just like them. Like, nah, man. That's very different than that right there, man.
He made it even worse by saying later in the conversation that Russ is going to win games. Like, the team's going to win games.
What? Bro, make up your mind, man. Make up your mind,
so
baby.
You mean to tell me when Russ is in, we're going to win games. That probably means Russ is doing good things.
Bruh, make it make sense, man. Make it make sense.
Which means he's probably reviving his career as he's doing that.
It's like,
if he even needs to do, 29 touchdowns last year. For him needing a revival, I mean, he could just kind of, if you could just give me those stats again.
What to say? You
maybe in a better game flow or something where we can win.
But you still gave us what 3,200, and you were 3-1 touchdown interception.
Total touchdown, yeah.
Or excuse me, total touchdown interception. So it's like, what are we looking at? What do we like? Yeah.
I think he was like the best red zone quarterback last year. I think he had 20 touchdowns in the red zone.
I can see it.
Converted at a really high clip.
Yeah, I can see it.
So if you could just do that type of stuff, hopefully we have a better running game than Denver. Defense is better. I think we're going to be in good shape. Just honestly, just literally do what Mason was doing at the end of last season.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
Mason was throwing for like 250, 2 touchdowns.
Like
that's all we need.
I don't get that one, man.
It was terrible.
I don't get that one. I'm trying to make it.
He even ripped on. You know what? It even got worse. Yeah, because he brought up Arthur Smith too. He's like, I don't like how he was a former head coach. Like with him being here, maybe him and Tomlin could like butt heads. There's going to be like egos at play or something. And then he said Arthur Smith traditionally doesn't do a good job of developing quarterbacks. So he named the Falcons quarterbacks, but then he also named Tannehill. I'm like, dude,
Tannehill became Tannehill because of Arthur Smith.
Exactly. Arthur Smith was the reason Tannehill got paid, and we actually thought Tannehill might be a decent quarterback. Once Arthur Smith left, Tannehill went down to earth. Those Tennessee offenses were top 5 in the league. That's why he got the head coaching job in Atlanta. You got to watch it. It's just the worst take.
You know what they say though, man. If you don't have haters, you're not popping. Clearly, we got some haters out there, man, because it still isn't popping right now, bro. But that is such a hater take. I'm just like, yeah, sounds like, hey, if you got hate in your heart, let it out.
That was
just
a
let
big
it out,
time
man.
reach.
Let the hate out your heart, man. It's bad to keep that in there, man.